guys, welcome back to yet another video, this time covering the Stegosaurus. I hope that you do enjoy. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So to start this video off, I figured I'd start with the EO, as I personally think that is one of the top 2 threats to you. Make sure you pay attention to how the EO is fighting against me, as I do have another clip later that will show you 2 different kind of playstyles. Probably the hardest adjustment to playing as the Stego is the delay between when you press the attack button for your tail and when your tail actually swings. You'll notice in all of the fights I kind of turn my body to an angle so that my tail winds up, and then I turn the other direction to try and get as much swing as possible. You'll also notice that every time that they hit my tail, it really doesn't do that much damage. I'm also being fairly aggressive and not utilizing the bleed to my advantage. And of course, some random task had to ruin it. So in this clip, I'm going to fight an EO that sharpens its horns before the fight starts, like you should. Just as a side note, that has to be my favorite EO skin of all the skins. The biggest thing with fighting an EO is do not get hit with that charge. It does way too much damage. If you guys will notice, the last 2 fights, I've only been using the quick tail attack. And the reason why I prefer the quick tail attack is it does 80 damage versus a fully charged tail attack does 100 damage. The full charged tail attack does do 4 times the amount of bleed, but since they released resilience scales, I find it less useful. The only time I really use the charged tail is if I'm fighting a stationary target. So the best times to use the charged tail would be if a dinosaur is not semi-aquatic but standing right beside the water, or if you're fighting a hunkered ano. It is important, even if you are using the quick tail attack, to let your bleed do its job. Every second that I can keep this EO moving increases my odds of winning this fight. Even if you see an EO completely red like this, do not underestimate what it can still do to you. Very nice, secured the win. So after playing as the defense, balanced, and speed Stego, I found that I like the balanced Stego the most. For my build, I prefer to use the armor hide, the pivot feet, and long distance runner. I do like the idea of the solar panel armor, but it only works during the day, and it's not worth sacrificing the armor for 30% stamina recovery. Especially when in every official server, it seems like it rains 99% of the time. I really do appreciate the feedback on the tier lists. I came up with the idea to try and help you guys start playing a dinosaur that you're not really that familiar with. So if you are a new player to the Stego or an expert with it, let me know in the comments below what you think about this list. Making this list, I am assuming that you're playing defensively and they are playing as the aggressor. A lot of people think that the Stego is better than the Rex, but I would strongly disagree with that. This Rex clearly did not watch the video on how to play Rex. I do want to show you guys how much damage the Rex actually does to the Stego. So if the Rex is landing a body shot, it's going to deal about 15% of your health, as you can see in this screenshot. The headshot here does pretty close to the same amount as the body shot. And lastly, you can see here that a tail bite does about 3% of our health. So if the Rex burns all of his stamina and can't bone break you, you really have nothing to worry about, as you can stay out of his range. I don't suggest being as aggressive as I am right here, but I wanted to make sure that nobody else interfered. So if you are on a Rex and you have to fight a Stego, don't burn your stamina chasing him down. Let him burn his stamina maneuvering around you. Bluff. Make him think that you don't have any stam. If you do get hit with a bone break, if it is a charged bone snap, you will not survive it, but if they are using the quick bone break, you can 100% survive. But yeah, the majority of these smaller / mid tiers really don't stand a chance against you, even if you have lower health. Only if there's many of them, a large group of them, which I'll show you next. This was while I was testing the solar panel, which increases your stamina recovery by 30%, but it's pretty useless if you get bone broke, as you can see here. As you saw, that is a 30-second bone break on me, so if there was any apexes around, I would 100% be toast. But against all these small tiers, the best thing to utilize is the pivot. They are working decently together, but being able to spin around that fast, there's not a whole lot that those small tiers can do. Needless to say, you're not going to use Charge Tail at all in this predicament. So this Dasp is using the heavy charge bite, which is a good thing, but he already lost so much health bone breaking me to keep me in place, and his team didn't utilize that time. So I could start to run now, but I actually kind of like being fortified up here. So he decided to go for the bone break, even though I wasn't trying to run away. I was able to take out the Alio and the Metri, so just 2 left. Unfortunately, I do have those solar panels on instead of the armor. Yeah, not much else I can do. I feel like if I would have had the armor on, I would have been able to take out the last 2. So here I was hit with a crushing bite, which gave me 10 seconds of bone break, but unfortunately I didn't record long enough, sorry about that. It isn't too difficult to avoid bone breaks from most players, and even though I have Venom and my stamina is draining from that and I'm sprinting, I know that I have a higher stamina pool than them. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and show you an escape here. Probably should have watched my Rex video. So I figured out how to get on this rock, and then I had a friend join me up here just to see how long we could defend it for. So after being up here for about 2.5 minutes, more and more people started to come. So I was successfully defending this for at least 4, maybe 5 minutes. But what started to come next, well, nothing could prepare me for it. Yeah, they started launching Kais at us. Obviously, I have no way to defend myself against the lawn dart of the dinosaur world. But just when things were starting to look grim, we were starting to get hungry and thirsty. The Kais were practicing their launches, and they were mounting up an offensive. A Herbie bro came charging in. Now if you guys do ever play on Juniper and you want to know how to get on here, I'll show you real quick. So come to the back side of this rock, you'll do a little bit of precise turning to get up above, and then make sure that you're sprinting when you make this leap. From this day forward, we call this Stego Rock. And for the last clip, I'm going to show you how to fight a Lambio and an Anno at the same time. So just a quick rundown. In our head, we know that the Anno is strongest when it's hunkered, and we know that the Lambio has a healing ability. But what a lot of people don't know is that the Lambio's healing call won't work if you have bleed. So my general strategy here is going to be to make sure that they both have bleed at all times. Luckily for us, the Anno is being very aggressive because he has a Lambio with him. So the Anno starts to run away, and I know that the Lambio is going to be going for the healing call. So I do have the next part a little louder. So that is the sound that you want to listen for, and then I hit that Anno with another tail attack just to make sure that he keeps bleed on him so that he does not get to heal. Right about now is when they start freaking out, saying that the game is broken. Sometimes the tail attacks do go over top of the Anno, which can be annoying, but the majority of them will land. Boom, the Lambio is meatballed. Got a good hit on the Anno there to start him bleeding again. I'm pretty sure I got 2 double hits there. Alright, there we go, 1 down, 1 to go. I do wish that they added an option to just automatically reject group invites, because random people invite me frequently whenever I'm trying to record. Post update, it takes the Anno 10 seconds to get into Hunker. GG, but I know the game better. That's gonna conclude the video for the Stego. I hope that you all enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below your opinions, and I'll see you next time.